Welcome back, folks. Alrighty, this is a fun temple. Challenging, difficult, yes, but fun. So I'm going to try to walk you through this temple as best as I can. Now guys, preparatory notes, if you're not, if you're really underpowered here, it's going to be just really tough. If you want to know how to really arm yourself up for this fight, I really recommend that chaos damage. And guys, I have a video out on that. I've got a video for crafting the chaos damage, and I've got a video for how to find the weapon that you need to disenchant for chaos damage. And that one is called March of the Dead. So folks, just to kind of show you on the map where we're at and what we are doing, Temple of Miraak is right here. Now this is the Dragonborn quest line, and I do have that highlighted here on my quest marker stuff, and that's all I have highlighted right now. So in order to get here, first you got to come to Solstheim, go through that whole thing. Then of course you got to, talk to people about Miraak and investigate that shrine. That was right down here at this one. And again, the quest marker should have taken you over there. And then once you do that, it should, go ahead and highlight quest marker here for the Temple of Miraak. Alright folks, and one last thing I should probably mention before I dive in there, and guys, this might just be the most important thing I'm going to say in this video. Absolutely make sure you come into this with 3 dragon souls. If you have any less than 3 dragon souls, guys, this quest can kind of hard break Miraak later on. So we're going to get through this temple and we're going to come to a black book, and that kind of activates Miraak to do something in the game. He'll start stealing your dragon souls. And guys, sometimes the game will glitch out and he just won't let you have one. I got in a loop like that, and I swear I killed like 15-20 dragons. He wouldn't let me have one single one. So they're going to make you find 3 shouts that have to do with Miraak. I think it's called Bend Will. Yeah, so folks, if you don't have those 3 dragon souls, you're just not going to be able to unlock them. Now guys, upon arriving here, you're gonna see her kind of running around frantically. There's some storyline here, so I would go ahead and try to immerse yourself a little bit into that. Okay, so get through her dialogue options there. Okay guys, as soon as you get through those dialogue options, there's going to be an attack here. I might have just hit Freya by accident. Yep, there's the arrow. Notice by now the quest marker will have moved indoors as soon as that cultist fight is over. So basically what happened was Freya just, got real froggy there and decided to jump. So she already dove on into the temple here. Now notice my followers weren't outside. A lot of times they'll follow Freya in. So, it's nothing to panic over. Simply pop your head in the temple and you should see them all standing here. Okay, now guys, something I forgot to mention right in the beginning of the video here, as soon as you get to this area, drop a hard save right around here before you discover the temple. Reason being is just in case anything gets glitchy in here, a follower gets stuck, a number of things can go wrong, really. All in all, guys, it's a real important saving opportunity. Later on, especially if some of the Skaal get engaged in combat, it's going to get stuck on Speak to Stormcraig Strider. So unfortunately, if that happens and you're just super stuck there, there's no way to undo that, without having to back a save up. So, depending on when that combat was initiated, you just always want to have this hard save here to come back to. Okay guys, you should be relatively safe right here in the beginning of the dungeon, but there are some free lootables. This is a really fun dungeon, guys, but it is quite extensive. If you really want to be thorough in here, loot everything, you're probably going to be in here for a couple of hours. Not only that, you can tend to get turned and twisted around because some of the stuff really kind of looks the same. Okay, so this other chamber has some free lootables as well. And this is kind of a gruesome scene. I could have done without that. Okay, one more chamber over here. So far the loot isn't great. It's kind of low level stuff, but as we get deeper into this place, it'll get better.
I must not fail.
So in case you're wondering, Freya does not count as an actual follower yet, and no, she will not break Serana. I've brought Serana through here plenty of times. At some point, you know, she'll kind of leave our side, but she will later on become a hireable follower. One that you can get into her inventory and the whole nine. Okay guys, we should have a fist fight coming up. Now I'm really trying to work on my conjuration skill here. So, you know, I'm gonna probably recast this thing a few times just so I can work on that a little bit. I'm up to 70 already, not bad. Oh, looks like Serana resurrected herself a Droger there. Wow, I didn't even have to do any work there. So yeah, between Serana, her resurrect, Freya, my Dremia Lord, a lot of this temple, I'm just gonna kind of sit back and enjoy the show. Okay, so continuing on down your stairwell here. And I like the cultist robes because they only weigh a pound. And again, you know, thinking ahead to when I reset my speech skill, it'll be nice to have some things to sell to mages. Oh, and try to stay close to Freya too while you're in here. She's got a lot of storyline, guys. She'll just kind of talk arbitrarily. And if you're not standing close enough to her, you won't be able to hear her at all. Okay, this room, it's got a couple of trigger traps there, but you can kind of get through the middle section there. And I like to keep my Dremia Lord kind of like preemptively casted. That way if I do get into combat, he's already been casted, and then I can recast him because my magicka has filled back up by then. Okay, nothing up there, but Freya's got some more storyline for you here. Lots of little hidden goodies around here.
Look up there. I think I see something.
Now at some point something's going to jump out at us, which is why I wanted that Dremia Lord precasted. But I think that's going to take a minute here. Nope, there they are. So yeah, that already gave me some conjuration credit, and you can immediately recast another. See, it doesn't take many casts at all. That Dremia Lord really does it for that conjuration skill. Oh, we are not done. Huh. Serana resurrected a freaking skeleton in a cage. Nice. And check all these wrapped Droger as well. Most of them, if not all of them, have loot. Alright, this is gonna start getting hairy again at some point. Alright, so to proceed, simply flip the switch there. Okay, these first two on the left here are going to be duds. But at some point, they're going to start waking up. There's one right up there, as a matter of fact. There goes my Dremia Lord, which means we're in combat. Another reason I like to pre-cast conjures, in addition to it, you know, bumping that skill, you can hear them aggro. You know, they usually trash talk, or, you know, the fire thing makes that noise. So it's just kind of like that pre-warning system. If you hear them start, you know, getting engaged in something, then you know there's going to be a red dot on your compass there somewhere. Okay, after we get him dead, it's time to move right through. It's kind of linear, but it can get real confusing in here. Everything looks the same, so this is one of those places you can definitely get turned around in. Alright, and you got all the typical bodies laying around. These Droger are going to kind of keep waking up. Another way to kind of know your way is follow the carpet. You can't always walk through, you know, sometimes it's blockaded, but you can get around and just kind of meet back up with that carpet at some point. Okay, now right where that shelving unit is, and all that looting, I actually missed a potion there. A couple of potions. So yeah, right across the way from there, it's kind of like a little hidden spot. It's easy to walk right past. Nothing too fabulous, but a little bit of gold never hurt nobody.
Who's there? I will strike like a hawk. I thank you for your protection, Lawmaker.
Alright guys, once you've kind of finished looting this little sweet spot here, there's a trap coming up. And your followers are going to want to hit that, of course. Now there's a lot going on in here. And it was probably a good opportunity to soft save the game. Not only is it challenging, but these guys can rip weapons out of yours and your followers' hands. So it's, yeah, it's one of those things, you know, your follower might lose the Flame Astronaut Staff or something like that. And so I always kind of take a look around, see if there's any loose weapons, you know, something that they might have dropped or gotten ripped out of their hands. And it's that Shouts attack that does that, by the way. Check the bodies too, guys. A lot of them have jewelry, gemstones, amulets, you just never know. Same thing with the dead ones that are already wrapped. Okay, there's two different ways to go, and they both kind of meet back up in the middle, so it really doesn't matter which way you go. Just know if you go left, there's another bad guy down there. But either way you go, you should probably make a loop and do all your looting. There goes my conjuration. Gotta love that Jermail Lord, I'm telling you, there's nothing like it. Not only that, it's a pretty powerful cast.
Thank you for your protection.
Okay, coming to the end of the hall here. Lots of goodies in that one. Okay, so now off to my left, that's going to be where we would have met this corridor had we gone left instead of right. And there's the guy that they just killed. Amulet of Diabella, guys. I have been waiting for that like you don't even freaking know. I was starting to think I was never going to get one. It was ridiculous. So that actually does a lot better for buying and selling than the Zenithar. Now that I've got that, I'll probably store the Zenithar for later. But yeah, that's going to be my go-to now for buying and selling. And that stacks with the Gift of Charity, by the way. So yeah, it just really, really helps out when you're doing that. Probably you could save that game point at this point. Alright, who's touching the switch? Lydia, get off of there. Ouch.
I'm not going down. It would be foolish to attempt.
Yeah, the followers get
Much better chance than
hung up in there because of that
traps.
switch. I
I
always
have
like to
no
just
doubt
kind
that
of
lever
wait a second,
turns
make
the
sure they all
fate.
make it through.
I shall wait here for now.
Okay, so you can work on your healing skill if you just take a little bit of damage there. Just be careful you don't have to stand in there too long because that red bar can start melting pretty quick, you know. But yeah, I just kind of like to use this from time to time, do a little extra, you know, restoration skill increase. That's why you'll rarely see me try to dodge these things. But again, it can be another sticking point for your followers. In fact, I think I see one of them taking a knee back there. So with that, go ahead and get the switch flipped.
With great pain.
Okay, make sure they all make it through okay, and we can proceed on.
Let us hope that is the last.
So once you do get through, you might want to go ahead and drop another soft save there. Okay, there's a hidden loot spot in here. As rare as those black soul gems are, do take the time to grab those. They count as grand when they're filled. And it's nice to be able to soul trap humanoid enemy types. Alright guys, that's pretty much it for that little loot spot. Now there's another secret loot spot in here, kinda sorta. He already did. Alright, so yeah, there's your switch. You just saw that gate open up back there. Now we can proceed on through. This is a room, guys. Probably a good quick save spot. This one's gonna hurt a little. And again, I want to get their attention so that my Dremia Lord aggroes. There he goes. I'll try to get one more casted before I get into this fist fight here. Yeah, so this one's a tough fight. There you are. And this is another spot a follower can lose a weapon because of those shadow attacks, by the way. Another good reason to save before you jump into this fist fight. Alright, once we got all our bodies looted, time to proceed on through. And these skeletons are not lootable. Petty soul gem opportunity. I had just gotten done saying I like to sneak through here, and then I stood up like a genius and I lost my soul trapping opportunities there. When you see a ton of skeletons laying around like this, it's always best to pick one body part and just check those. That way you know you're hitting all the skeletons without like looking at the same ones over and over. Because, yeah, they really scatter their body parts there. Well, it looks like they're gonna go for it. Alright, proceeding on through, you've got this birdcage looking room. And then right next to that, you'll notice this little kind of like hidden loot spot. Very, very tough to see. You would never even know it was here. Check that out, guys. It's like the mother lode. Alright, and we are not done yet. Okay, now that's the cage that we walked across before. So I just kind of made a giant loop and popped out another side. And one of these things is gonna pop open behind us. Okay, there we go. And I've got those black soul gems, so I'm absolutely gonna try to peg one of these guys. I think I actually hit him. Oh, no soul gems, which means I already filled them up. Come on, Buster. Oh, he's a tough guy. Come on, one more. There it is. Yeah, I think this is the one that pops open. Alright, so yeah, go ahead and loot your bodies, but in addition to the bodies, there's more loose stuff down here. Kinda forgot he was there, not gonna lie. Watch out for that pressure switch. Another thing about these cultists, a lot of times they'll have potions or cooking ingredients.
How much deeper can this be?
Alright, following this corridor, now there's going to be another save spot coming up. Matter of fact, this is probably it.
Large, a temple. It cannot be much farther now. I feel it in my bones.
Okay, so I preemptively casted a lord there. Now I'm going to wait just a second till my magicka fills up, because I want to immediately cast one more as soon as I get that word wall. This place is going to come alive here.
Seeing the remains hung up like trophies must have enraged them to no end.
Okay, so as soon as that Dromea Lord aggroes, I'll go ahead and cast another.
Brace yourself.
There he goes.
Now we end.
Like I said, we can just kind of sit back and not even have to do any work. It's pretty awesome. There goes Conjuring again. Loving it. Okay guys, you can't get through this door. It's going to require a key. It should be on one of the dead bodies. As a matter of fact, he says gatekeeper right on him. Alright, moving right along. And again, I don't think there's any bad guy trouble in here to worry about right now. And guys, this is another real big confusing kind of complex. So, yeah, I'll get to that here in a second. It's gonna go open up into like a dining room kitchen area, so just kind of remember hanging moss. This is gonna be the way out. So I'm actually not gonna loot that until I'm ready to go, because that's kind of like my landmark on how to get out of this place. But yeah, so basically back here in the kitchen, there's a switch we have to throw. Right to this very immediate right corridor. There's a window they're kind of showing you, but this next one right here will have the switch.
I knew it. A secret passage
And
in the dining
then
area just opened.
Freya will kind of say something about it, you know, opening up. But before we actually go, there's a bunch of goodies in here, guys. Elvesier, that's for marksman potions. Loose stuff on the tables. Spriggan sap, that stuff is gold. Okay, so right behind that little doohickey, there's another hidden room. It's kind of tucked back away. And it's got some more goodies in it. Alright, so going back over to our hanging moss spot. And guys, this next chamber is also going to have a lot of hanging moss, like a ton of the stuff. Or not this chamber, but here coming up. Lots of free giveaway potions in this temple too.
I wonder if there's...
Alright, and that brings us to this final room here. Freya's probably going to have some more storyline about that. Okay, so go ahead and activate your switch there to proceed on through the temple. You'll come to this room kind of in between the two stairwells, get your soul gems. That'll bring you down to another kind of weird looking room here. Now these statues, you're going to see these a lot when we open the black books. So I think it's kind of like a prelude to that.
I do not suspect that would be the case. Where do we go? Be on your guard.
Okay, once again, another switch to activate. Alright guys, that is going to bring you down to this next chamber. Now this is where the hanging moss is going to be. As well as a ton of bad guys. Now I'm not going to cast a Dromia Lord here because I'm going to really try to get some soul trapping done before they all get involved. Lots and lots of skeletons here. Not to mention Droger. Okay, one of them just triggered a trap there. And they're hard to hit behind that statue thing. Sometimes those legs that stick up will block your arrows. Okay, now here come all the skeletons. Tons of the things in here. And we're still not done, believe it or not. There's like a couple stronger enemies in there a little ways. Okay, so again, hanging moss, folks, it's all over the place in here. Pretty much all of these statues, pillars, anything stone sticking up is probably going to have a hanging moss on it. And these are gold. You combine that with Blue Mountain Flower and make really good, strong selling potions. Ouch. Okay, yeah, that Droger just came out to play.
Someone there.
Okay, so you got a loot chest right behind where he woke up. Wow, that's awful heavy, but it's got some value to it. Golly, 40 freaking pounds? 45? Okay, Serana's in now, and I still don't see Lydia. So that's what I mean, like, this can be one of those sticking points for the followers. Alright guys, so I got tired of waiting for Lydia. I passed 1 hour and she just kind of popped in there. So that's one way you can do it, you know, if they're just not cooperating. But at this point, you need to make sure you've got all of your followers with you. So once you know they're in here safe and sound, it's probably a real good save spot. Okay, after you get through the never-ending cave here, this is where we come to the end of the temple, and this is that black book I mentioned. So guys, I'm going to drop a hard save here. Frea's got some storyline. Now this is another, you know, real critical saving point. Just another option to come back to, you know, if something goes wrong later on in this quest line. Very specifically, that speak to Stormcraig Strider, or whatever his name is. That, you know, there's some more to do here. So what I'm going to do, I'm not quite sure how long this video has been going on for, but I am going to go ahead and do the black book and combine it with this particular video, because it's not like a complete black book normal thing. It's real quick in and out. So again, guys, put a hard save here. Once you have that hard save in place, go ahead and read the book.
It seemed as though you were not.
Alright, so
really
after you get done with that cutscene stuff, I didn't want to keep that in the video, just, you know, spoiler. I thought that would be better for new players especially to experience that. So yeah, long story short, you know, you'll go in and he'll kick you out, and that's what it's supposed to do. Now guys, if you don't have your quest marker turned on for her, this is another one of those glitch alerts. Make sure all of your other quest markers are turned off right now and only hers is turned on. This is where this can break, and this is why I recommended putting that hard save down before we read that black book. So notice this, Accompany Frea to Skaal Village. Make sure you do just that. Don't deviate, don't fast travel, don't do anything, don't pass go, don't collect $200. Alright guys, so assuming you stuck right by Freya's side, I know that takes a few minutes there, but it's important to make sure the game is going to work right. So, you know, I strongly recommend taking the time to do that every playthrough.
No, but I have brought
and then that'll kind of, you know, generate some more dialogue here.
She has confirmed that Miraaks
now at this point, make sure no combat is being engaged in Skaal Village with any of the villagers. That will absolutely hard break Stormcraig Strider here, and that will, you know, hard break the quest later on, and there's no way to fix that, guys, not that I know of. You know, the only way I know how to fix it is to reload an earlier save and go back through all these steps I'm pointing out in this video to make sure things are done in that, you know, particular order. Black Book, etc. Make sure no, you know, villagers have been engaged in combat, and as a matter of fact, I had this quest break on me once and I didn't even do anything. But what had happened was a troll had entered the village from this side, and he engaged in combat with, I think, the blacksmith or something. Or none. It was maybe another vendor. I can't remember now. But regardless, you know, combat was initiated. And sure enough, down the road, speak to Stormcraig Strider got absolutely stuck.
Now, it is you.
So even if you're not the one engaged in combat with them, just the simple fact that combat happened in the village here was enough to cause the problem.
So you have seen things.
Alright guys, so go ahead and, you know, get him talked to here, and that'll progress the storyline.
You may be able to break the hold.
And that will progress your questline here to learn Word of Power.
From control.
And as always, folks, get through all the questline stuff here, or the speech dialogue options.
Dragonborn as well.
Alright guys, so before I let you go, there's something that I kind of thought I should point out, you know, before concluding the video here. We got told to go, you know, learn a shout power, and that's awesome. And it's on a word wall, by the way. It is right where the quest marker is going to take us, and you know, it's very straightforward. You go there, kill a dragon, get the word wall, and there's also some Droger in the area, so it's quite a fight actually. But I'm going to do that in a separate video, but I thought I should mention this shout because that's the only one you're going to get off a word wall. The other two shouts come in time as you're doing the major quest lines. But for now, that concludes this video, and folks, if you enjoyed it, please take a moment to like, share, subscribe, and comment. And as always, until the next time, best of luck and happy hunting.